Alright everybody, today I have my missing bolts and I'm going to try to go ahead and get this thing buttoned up until the intake. I can get the throttle body on it. I'm missing oil dipstick. I'm missing my crank sensor, hasn't showed up yet. I don't have a starter, but I have everything else. So this should go pretty smoothly. Which of course means I don't have something and it's not going to go smoothly. But follow along and we'll see. I'll probably fast forward a lot of this, but we'll see. So if you watch my other videos, which my analytics say most of you do not, but let's say you do, you'll notice I am reusing my head bolts, which is a point of so much debate. You'll also notice I'm impacting them in. I'm actually just running them down until they're tight so that I can use my torque wrench. Let me run all these down and then I'll explain the reusing of the bolts. And that one went in hard for some reason. Oh, these ones are already in. Okay. Now for the 10 mils. I'm not fancy like some people. I don't have a set of junkyard tools and a set of at-home tools. I just have to drag them all with me and lose them all over the place. So now I gotta find that everyone's favorite, the old 10 millimeter. I don't know. I'll revisit that. Hey, what do you know? All right. The torque specs in order. All right, so to torque these heads down, and we'll talk about the debacle of torque to yield bolts right now too. To torque these head bolts down, what you do is you go to 22 foot-pounds and then you go 90 degrees. Now, we've all heard about the big bad wolf and that these are torque to yield bolts. That doesn't mean that they get torqued literally until they fail. You know, the recommendation is to throw them away. And if that makes you feel good, throw them away. It's about $50 for another set, you know, and if that's cheap insurance to you, then throw them away. Then do your first pass at 22 foot-pounds and then put an additional 90 degrees of torque on them. And all your LS bolts are going to be like that. They're all going to be, you know, whatever foot-pounds plus this many degrees of rotation. They all use the angle torque method. to get a little bit extra torque on them. I'm not throwing mine away. Obviously, you guys saw me go take some more out of the junkyard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 22 foot-pounds. I'm going to do 90 degrees, and I'm going to do an additional 30 or so. I'm just going to eyeball it because, yes, they stretch. I'm just going to stretch them a little more. There are people out there running 7-second quarter miles on factory head bolts. So whether you can reuse yours or not is totally up to you. But don't let people tell you you can't. You totally can. As you can see, my little Milwaukee Impact, as awesome as it is, didn't come close to putting 22 foot-pounds on these bolts. Because I'm still able to put a 1/16 to a quarter of a turn on them. Apparently that one didn't get hit at all. All right. Now the small inside 10mm bolts, they go to 22 foot-pounds and they just stay there. That's it. No further angle torque on them. So and I'm pretty excited to get this together because once I do, once I have all my sensors here, I can go ahead and start on my wiring harness. And that's where the magic happens. Alright, so 90 degrees. 30 degrees. Yes, I eyeballed it. Yes, I'm a caveman. Yes, this is gonna work. Trust me. I'm an engineer. And that's it. Heads are installed. And move on to the valley pan, which I need to figure out how the hell this is supposed to go. I actually think it's supposed to go like this. Yeah, I think I got ahead of myself when I put the knock sensors in. I should have had these in the bottom first. Then drop the knock sensors on top of them. Again, my lovely wife labeled all my bags for me. So I have most of my bolts still. And it's really relatively straightforward to go in there and put everything back together. Any bolts I lost were wholly 100% me. I mean, I'm not going to tell her that, so, you know. I really wish that these gaskets didn't overhang so much as they do. But here we are. All my gaskets are Felpro, by the way. I figured for the money, I'm as cheap as the next guy, you know. But if the difference is only a few bucks, that few bucks stuff adds up pretty damn quick. But in this case, I just simply don't see a reason not to use the good stuff. I mean, when some people say it's only a few bucks, they mean 40 or 50. And 40 or 50 times, you know, the 100 parts that go into an engine add up. But in this case, I mean 3 or 4. Again, I'm just using this to snug it down. These get torqued to 22 foot-pounds. Same as the cylinder heads on the first pass, so So I'm going to pick you up for a second. Woo! And show you this real quick. This hole right here is your oil pressure sender hole. This hole is your cam sensor, which I have up there. You can get a little plug, a little M18 plug to 3/8 or whatever for a regular mechanical small block style oil sender, which I've ordered one, it's on the way. So that's what you would want to put right there if you're doing this swap. If you're putting it, you know, back into a Camaro or whatever, then, you know, that's different, but 4th gen. But yeah, for the old school swaps, you're going to want to go with a mechanical gauge there. And we'll cover, there's a Camaro 4th gen water temp sending unit, but right now I'm going to slam my push rods home. Sure, I'm going to put some gloves on and slam my push rods home. I really don't like the Molly Graphite assembly lube, but it's what I have, so. Now, again, a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you just get new ones? Well, because that's another $100. I didn't cut these heads. I didn't cut the block. My cam is not a reduced base circle cam. If you go over 600 thousandths of lift on an LS, your cam base circle gets reduced, so you need a longer push rod. But my cam's 575, 585, something like that. So I really shouldn't have a problem. So what I'm going to do is throw some Molly lube on the ends that don't go to the push rods or don't go to the lifters, and drop some bad boys in there. I'm looking at each one because I had some spring damage, so I have some concerns as to whether or not any of these took a hit as well, but I don't think they did. I'm also going to put some Molly on the valve stems, just because at first startup, and plus it's not going to start, I'm not going to start and run this thing for months, so. But that first startup, what I plan to do is start it up, let it run about 30 seconds, and drain all the Super Tech right on out of it. So I'm just going to pour cheap oil in it to start, get it going, drain it all out, so I can get all, you know, my assembly process here in my garage is less than perfect, but I'll just rely on the oil splashing everywhere to take care of that. I'll go around the other side. Now I'm going to pull my rocker arms down here. I got to check them too, because again, I managed to smear 2 different valve stems, so it wouldn't surprise me if I have some damaged rocker arms, although I don't think I do, but we shall see. I kind of glanced at them without really looking at them, because, you know, I didn't want to see. Sometimes you just don't want to know, you know. So, yeah, these look pretty good. Those are 8mm, and I exploded a cheap 8mm socket just taking them off. So, have a lifetime warranted one. Be prepared. Look at these ones too. No, they look fine. Back in they go. I'm going to go back around to the head bolts again. The reason that GM wants you to throw them away, you know, it's not nefarious. So I just want to make you spend more money. That's not really the case. The reason is that they stretch. And once they stretch, they don't go back. So your 22 foot-pounds isn't providing the same clamping force now that it was before. Which is why I went ahead and, you know, guesstimated a little extra on them. Now I can't find my... I was looking for my 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. I broke... Not only did I break a 8mm socket, I broke a 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter too. So, but this stuff's from AutoZone, which is like a block away, so it'll be easy to redeem my lifetime warranty if this shit splits again. So there's the rocker arms installed. No, I didn't torque them. No, I didn't measure preload. No, I didn't do any of that stuff. As far as this goes, my cam sensor, I'm just going to throw that in there. It's easy enough to change later if it's no good. I never saw this engine run, so I don't know if it's good, but Of course, like literally every other component on this engine is covered in crap, so give it a little bit of a cleaning. I got no more rags. Well, I guess she's going in like this then. Fire in the hole. There we go. Had the flu all week, so I apologize for not being as lively as I normally am. It really sucks, but we're getting there. I could throw the intake on now, but I'm not going to, because I gotta get my new stands and get it back in here and drop it down. Really, and put these knock sensors back in, which again, they're easy enough to change in the truck. I know I kind of screwed the pooch when I dumped oil all over them, but I don't know, maybe they're alright. We're gonna find out, because I'm not gonna change them unless they don't work. And again, I think that these are easy enough to change in the truck. And I'll have warning ahead of time anyway. Some people say you don't need RTV on here, some people say you do. I'm just gonna err on the side of let's put some RTV on here. Why the hell not? Have some. I actually don't know how these go on there, but I think that they just push on there. Like so. Yep. She's clicked on. So yeah, you just hammer the center home and they click into place. So this is pretty exciting for me. Probably not for you, but you know, whatever. This ain't about you, it's about me. Really, I'm pretty close to being able to get started on my harness. And when I get started on my harness, I can get started on starting the truck. I don't think my harness will take me but a couple hours, especially the rough one, because I'm not going to loom it up and everything until I have it in the truck. So that's that. Then this will go on. Like this. Keel. These will go on like this. I ordered new, I have them in the house, actually, but they didn't come with the grommets for the PCV, so that's a bummer. I don't know if I'm even going to use them or if I'm going to use something else. And then I got my headers. I'll have to chop them up. I'm going to put V-band flanges on there. But yeah, I mean, this is we're starting to get somewhere, dear viewers. So that's pretty awesome, right? I'm pretty happy. I'm also probably making you seasick. But hey. Yeah, let me see. I spent $30 at the junkyard yesterday on an AC bracket and compressor that I don't really need right now. I spent $40 on a crank sensor. So I'm still under 500 out of pocket. The budget's looking pretty good. Things I need to do still are the wiring harness. I need to get a starter. I'm going to use the DB Power one from Amazon. We're almost there, folks. So, yeah. Have any questions, let me know. I'm sure you're not following along. This is like an hour-long video now. You're probably done with this shit, but if you are, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. This is JR. We'll see you.